My name is Isabella. I am 14 years old and I'm in 9th grade. I attend Acton Chinese Language School and I've been there for 9 years and I'm graduating this year. I have a Chinese name and it's Ding Chenyi. So my mom is from Jilin, which is in northeastern China, and my dad grew up in Beijing. I think I came around kindergarten or 1st grade. And now I'm in 9th grade, so I'm graduating this year. I learned a lot of things that I probably wouldn't learn in like regular school, like not only the Chinese language, but also culture, heritage, like about my own heritage and random like customs that we have too, that I probably wouldn't know about just from being in America. In Chinese school, it's more about learning about my roots and culture. This time, like when I come to Chinese school, I get to learn about a different side of me, because there's like academics me and then there's also like the me like culturally. It's very important to me because being an American-born Chinese, I use it a lot at home with my parents, but also I get to experience media as well from China when I speak Mandarin. And I think it's a great way to know more about where I'm from and what my parents have experienced as well. Chinese school is like a big part of my childhood, and I won't forget it because I learned so many things I probably can't express in English, whether it's like phrases in Chinese or just the simple things, traditions that I have at home. And it'll definitely always hold like a special memory in my heart from like meeting people that I've known since then till now, and I'll definitely keep it in my heart.
So my name is Eddy Zhao, and I am a high school student teaching classes for the Acton Chinese Language School in Acton, Massachusetts. I am also the youngest teacher in the whole program, being the high school student. Definitely being able to have the experience and the opportunity to teach is special to me. And I am connected to the community because I have been part of Chinese school. I have taken the classes there and now I teach there. And so I've been always incorporated into this community for a long time. During my time there, they had end of year performances. And so each year at the end of the year, students would get together and for each class, they would make a performance or a dance or a show to show off at the end of the year. And so getting to make those performances is something that I remember. I made a lot of those during my years there, and it was simply just interesting. It was cool to be able to share culture more than we do usually, because especially while we're teaching Chinese, that's spreading culture, but when we're doing our end of year shows, that's definitely something that spreads the most culture, in my opinion. So coding is a very big passion of mine, and it's definitely something that I really enjoy doing. And so when I was given the opportunity to teach at Chinese school, I think coding just kind of came to me, because when you learn how to code, you're learning a language and the set of rules associated with it. And so that kind of applies the same way to when you're learning a new language. When you're learning Chinese, for example, at our Chinese schools, you still have to learn the language and you still have to learn the rules that come with it. And so when you have coding in it, it allows you to kind of take those rules that you learn Chinese with and you can apply it to something else. When you code, you're able to kind of make digital things that advance the world. And then when you learn a new language, you can advance your culture and your communication. So I write lesson plans and I do preparation for my classes every single week, make different projects and whatnot. And so kind of every week the students are working on something new and learning something new. And so by the end of the course, they will have kind of known how to do everything that I've planned out for them. Teaching the cultural program is important to me, especially because I'm getting to spread heritage and culture to the community. While I can't directly teach Chinese as a language to my students, I can help them learn, especially because what I'm doing is promoting Chinese school, having them look forward to Chinese school every single day and learning more about it, especially how there are rules in a language, and so students have to apply the same thing to both classes while they're different. And so that's kind of how I'm able to directly help those students learn. So Chinese is a really complicated language, And there are places willing to teach it to you, and you should treasure that. So never take those places for granted. And remember that while you can, you should remember to understand and know your heritage and culture so that you can pass it on to those ahead of you and keep the tradition alive, even in places where it didn't come from.